Let's all right. So we got it. Yeah. Well, we got a packed house here. Awesome. I want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Janet. Hey, Frank. Hey, April. Hello, Facebook. I know we got a ton of people watching in our private Facebook community. Hi, Mary. Hi, Lola. Hey, Lizzie. Good to see you on here. Kyle, what's up, man? Hope you're doing awesome. We got some awesome information. I got some really big announcements to make before we go ahead and get started. So if you're either viewing us on Facebook or in our private Facebook group, or you're connected here in this group coaching that we do once a week, we're running a series right now called Prospecting and Lead Conversion Secrets, or Sales Secrets, and it's all about the most important thing, right? And that is being able to identify somebody who is in that buying and selling cycle and convert them. And the better that we get to do that, the better we can do that, both between ourselves and our team, and the better we get our sales and marketing plan honed in, the more we're going to be able to, transactions we're going to be able to close, and the faster we're going to be able to scale our business. And a lot of times in this business, and I've been guilty of this too, because we built out the technology, is we get excited about we get excited about the newest thing, or we get excited about the tech, or we get excited about maybe the new strategy to generate a lead, and we can quickly lose focus on the most important thing, and that's lead conversion. And in my opinion, it's the number one problem that our industry has. And so it's my passion to really, hit that head on, to say, if we're not focused on fine-tuning, constantly finding ways to better convert leads into closings faster, what are we doing? Right? What are we really doing? And so we just got to keep that at the forefront of it. And I would encourage you guys, for your business and the culture that you're looking to build within your team, is to make sure that that is always at the forefront of the culture of your business, especially as you start scaling. Because if you don't have a system and a structure set up where you're holding yourself accountable to your lead conversion activities, and you hold your team accountable to those activities, this is what starts happening. It becomes harder to predict your results. You end up paying money out and not seeing it come in. And it's a direct reflection of what's going on up in here, where our mindset's at. And if we have a mindset to really, really hone and focus on, that's really what matters. And then we have fun doing, we find fun ways to get better at it and do it, like what we're doing here, then we'll see our income skyrocket. And that's the fun part, right? Is little tiny tweaks with our prospecting and our process of converting a lead to a closing, little tiny tweaks throughout that part of the sales funnel will make a huge difference in our bottom line results. So my particular passion is, when it comes to working with agents in this topic, for those of you that are kind of tuned in here for the first time, is really helping agents draw more listings out of their database, okay, and more transactions in general. And then on top of that, once you got that down, is transitioning to becoming the dominant listing agent in the area. Okay, so where you're really focused, you got your Zillow leads coming, you got your buyer leads are there, but you've got a system in place to generate more listings. And so for those of you who don't know, that the first time on, we'll go ahead and get into some announcements and training. When I first got started in the real estate realm, I started as an investor, and I got really good at generating seller leads, actually. Through anyone ever seen those yellow letters? They kind of look like it's a printed, like you actually wrote the letter, but it's really not. It's really printed. What I would do is I would mail those to distressed properties, and through a series of text messaging, some yellow letters, I got a ton of inbound phone calls, and a lot of them I couldn't do anything with. So I started passing them off to a realtor, and that realtor started closing a ton of deals off of the leads that I was generating. And it was right then and there, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And he goes, you know that you have something huge, that if you can take these strategies and apply them to your brokerage, or to a brokerage, you could do something really awesome. And so I really got honed in on generating seller leads with a seller focus. And the first year of our brokerage partnering up, we did actually 150 transactions in that brokerage the very first year. And then we opened up a broker-to-broker referral program. We ended up averaging around 1,000 transactions a year through that broker-to-broker referral program that we ended up running. And so just so you guys know a little history on when we're training on prospecting and lead conversion, you start seeing patterns, right? Success starts leaving clues. And, just so you know, we're in the process of actually scaling up a brand new brokerage. And so we can start seeing those successes and the things that aren't working based on some of the strategies that we're going to talk here about today. So we want to let you know we're in the trenches with you, Ron and myself and our team. We're actually not just offering technology and marketing training coaching. We're actually in the trenches building and scaling our own brokerage. We have 200 agents in Florida, another about 20 agents in Rochester. So I want you guys just to have a little context and feel confident about where we're coming from, that when we make a suggestion, step out of your comfort zone just a little bit, right? And try it, right? Try doing something a little bit different or looking at it a little different, and get excited about, about real estate from the perspective of that if we master lead conversion, we can't be stopped. Let's just be real about it. If we master lead conversion, we can't be stopped, because everything else is kind of not easy, right? But easier compared to some of the other things that we have to deal with, right? So with that, I'm excited to have you guys on. We're going to jump into our training here today very quickly, which we're going to continue talking about the most common objections that we hear, and do some role play and some calling in the background. But before I do that, I got some exciting announcements for anyone that is a REN client and that's on our Database Pro package. This applies to you. I actually worked out a licensing agreement with a company. I'm going to share my screen here, called Club Wealth. You've heard me mention them. Somebody's got to give me the ability to share my screen quickly here, please. But Club Wealth is the premier one-on-one coaching company in the country. They are probably in the top 10 that are out there. And so basically what I've done is created a licensing agreement where all the classes that they teach online that are recorded, my clients are now going to get access to. So for example, if you want to learn how to do REO, if you want to learn how to do probate, if you want to learn how to do for sale by owners and expireds, if you want to learn how to do, and you want to actually take an online course to interact and in between these group coaching sessions, you're going to be able to get access to that information 100% free. Okay, included in with your monthly membership that you currently have with Database Pro. So round of applause. I thought that was a pretty exciting announcement. So normally, just so you know, if you were to if you were to get access to this online university that we're creating, it would normally be like $200 a month to get access to it, because it has content on every single topic that's out there. So you're going to see the normal place that you log in, you're going to see that transforming over time. So I'm asking for a little bit of grace here as we kind of roll this out, because you're going to see the environment when you go to the ultimatelistingmachine.com, that environment that has your workbook. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we have some context here. Everyone should be able to see my screen. Is that correct? See my beautiful wife? Okay. Everyone see that? Give me a thumbs up.
Yep, coming through just fine.
Okay. So this environment, you're going to start seeing some changes and some morphing here a little bit, where we're going to be putting the most popular courses that people are requesting in this academy, and the environment and look and feel is going to change a little bit. Okay. So in the chat, I want to know what courses that you guys want to see and experience first, that you're most interested in learning about, whether it be video marketing, whether it be mastering FSBOs and expires. So in the chat, let me know what courses that you guys want to know about and have up and running over other courses. That would be awesome. Okay. And John, if you could read those off as they're coming in, so I can.
Certainly.
All right. So with that too, we have another big announcement. I'm really excited about this. If you're in your course, or sorry, in your academy, your sales and marketing academy, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, okay, we have a brand new feature, again, all included with your technology and marketing stack. We're actually preparing custom marketing content for every major social media, email, text, you name it, whatever platform you're looking to do marketing on. We're actually creating the custom marketing content for you. So you can see here, we dropped a sample here in September, and it's going to be even more organized and better for October. But all you do is click here, and it's going to send you to the recommended content for the month. Now, within a week or two, it's going to be even more user-friendly, because what's going to happen is you're going to go to your sales and marketing workbook. And when you go to that workbook and you scroll down to the month, okay, let me get down to that part, past all this fluffy stuff. All right, sorry guys. Okay, so let's just pretend that this is October, so I don't have to keep scrolling. You're going to be able to click on that day, okay? So it's going to tell you what the recommendation is to do for marketing that day, and you're going to be able to click on it, and it's going to send you right to the recommended content or script or dialogue that we would recommend as a framework to execute on for that day. Now, for some of you, it's you have your administrative person helping you with the sales and marketing calendar, the execution of it. For others, maybe you're kind of doing this yourself, so we're trying to make this more as user-friendly as possible, okay? Here's what's exciting. Anybody that has followed this to within a 50th percentile of accuracy, okay, is experiencing 7 to 10 new strong opportunities that are turning into closings a month, okay? We experience this for our brokerage. They're actually, that we execute on this, we're probably about an 80th percentile of accuracy for our brokerage. It generated around 7 strong opportunities last month, and with zero ad spend, okay? Zero ad spend. And I think, Christina, correct me if I'm wrong, but we already went out on 3 of those appointments, I think, from those efforts, right?
That is correct, yes.
So from a commission standpoint, we have a smaller commission in our market, but in a lot of these markets, your average commission is around $6,000-$7,000 or more. So literally, just by taking an hour a day with your administrative person or you executing this, you could increase your closings without spending any extra money. You could increase your closings by following this plan, 3 to 4 deals a month. That's where our conviction is. So hopefully you guys can get excited about that announcement. We're trying to make it as user-friendly to execute on. That's our mission, is to try to, make it, now that we have the plan, is to make it easy to execute on. So we want to be able to help you that anyway. Remember, you have on-demand coaching and training at any point, where if you're getting stuck with a process, you have on-demand strategy sessions that we can help you through it, okay? Kind of keep that in mind. So does anybody have any questions before we dive into training? And Jonathan, what were some of the requests that came in the chat?
So we had geographical was the big one that came through right now.
Okay.
And that is the only request I've seen so far, other than some comments on how awesome that training manual is. And I can only agree with that. It is an awesome resource for anyone who wants to use it.
Awesome. That's great. It's good to hear. All right. So Clara, if you can make a note, we have the geographical training series that we just went done. What we're going to do for everybody is, and we'll send everybody an email out in this section here where it says geo farming and niche marketing secrets. Okay. You're going to see a full-blown training. You're already going to see a lot of stuff here, but if you click on it, you can see the geographical training is already being launched here. It's almost done. What's already in there is really good enough to get you 90% of the way there, in case you didn't know that training was available. So you go underneath masterclass number 4. Okay, you're going to see this one. is locked down right now because we're redoing it. But masterclass number 4 has all the information you need about geographical farming right there. Okay, step by step. So awesome. Great. Are we ready to get into some lead conversion stuff, guys? Good. All right. So what objections have we been dealing with this week, or what challenges are we running into when it comes to prospecting and lead conversion? I kind of want to open it up. To start off, I have some things prepared, but I want to give you guys an opportunity to raise any questions that you guys may have. Anything you're running into this week. So one big thing that's coming is the change. It's obviously time of year, right? And people trying to make a decision on timing, right? Should they wait until the spring? That conversation's coming. We talked a little bit about that last week, right? So that's my team's been hearing that more and more, but I want to hear from you guys. Let's see what we got in the chat. Someone told me that they're just curious on how much their home is worth, but he didn't want to deal with meeting face to face. Interesting. Good one.
He just wanted comps.
Just wanted comps. Okay, that's good.
And Isaiah, I'm actually that's something I've been dealing with too, with the one type of leads that we're taking in, and so I've been working on overcoming that objection a lot.
Okay. So let's talk about some questions that we can ask to narrow down the balance between building a relationship. So there's a balance, right? Because we want to come across as the trusted advisor. And I think
that's
when
right.
When you hear us prospect, right, and you hear like some of the calls last week, there's a fine balance, right, of not blowing it off but not wasting all of our time. So I want to open it up to everybody. What are some questions that we can ask to narrow down the qualification and the time frame, right? And let's start off with that. And then Mary's got a good one. Market's starting to, do you guys see the market starting to change? I think it's a really good question too. So let's open it up to our panel. What are some questions that we can ask to further qualify that lead out, but more importantly, make sure we're still advisor, but figure out what their time frame really is. So go ahead.
Well, I would say it's going to be really hard to determine the value of a home over the phone without looking at it.
Yeah.
I think that not so much a question, but definitely the mindset going in is if they really are curious of the true value of their home, I don't think any agent would be able to produce that over the phone accurately. I mean, you don't know the condition of the inside other than maybe a couple of pictures on Google Maps. Yep. And usually those are a couple of years old. So I think that'd definitely be a place to start, is going in with that kind of mindset that you need to have your agent, or if you are the agent, you need to be at that home to actually have the conversation and actually progress that forward.
For sure. Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well, is, when I get that objection, my biggest thing is, it's a lot easier to get an accurate value of a home if you can see it. Because, somebody might have the same exact home as you right next door, but your kitchen's a little more up to date. We wouldn't know that without coming in and taking a look at it.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing I say. I basically say, bottom line is, I can't give you an accurate assessment of what your property is going to be worth and give you a roundabouts way of what it might comp out to. But depending on what kind of updates you've done, and the condition of everything, we're not really going to give you an accurate idea as far as what you're going to be able to put on your in your pocket if you decide to work, decide to put it on the market. So let's do this. I have them in the area. It's only going to about 15, 20 minutes. Let me have them stop by and just take a look at the property, and you can kind of go from there.
Yeah, and I love your assumptive language. So if you
have to do that. You have to do that. You can't ask.
Yeah,
you have to do that.
If you notice the pattern here, when that rolled in, right? We answered the question or made us some strong verbal advantage, and then we rolled right into what? Assuming the appointment, right? So if you leave too much gap there, or you're asking for it, to John's point, you're gonna get rolled. They're gonna give them a window to get out. So I want to approach this a little bit different, April. because you said that you mentioned that. What I would do, and I want to hear from my top converters here. April says I got to work on that. We all do. It's a huge thing, April. So it's really good. Any way we can help, let us know. So one of the things I want to back up a little bit, April. If you're going into this conversation, ask them a question to try to narrow down time frame if you haven't. So, and when you're in the heat of it, it's tough to remember this. But before I talk, if they say something like, "Hey, let me know what the value of my home is," I might say to them, "Hey, look, if the value of your home is what you think it is, right? What kind of time frame before you would take an acceptable offer? Are you prepared for that, right? Or something along those lines to try to figure out their time frame." And if they say something like something that's ridiculous, like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious," right? You might want to say, "Okay, well, how about this? Because a lot happens within 3 to 6 months. So I think you'd be better served getting getting your home valued properly when you're a little bit closer. And I'd be happy to help you do that. Let me send you over my home seller's checklist, which are some things you could consider, okay? Which are some things that you should consider that determine the value of your home. How does that sound? And I'll follow up with you in like 2 to 3 months. That's how I would approach that if they were kind of like blowing it off past 3 months. So our rule of thumb is if they're like, telling us it's 3 months out or more than 3 months out, we're very careful on setting up that face-to-face. What is that? What do you put on that checklist? Clara, if you do a quick Google search on our drive, and actually I think it might be in the master class. We'll have to look at it, but we'll drop the home seller checklist, April, right in this hangout so you guys can have it. Okay. It's branded RHA, but you can feel free to rebrand the home seller checklist. It's a great value. It's a great tool to leave them with. And then also too, April, it gives you a great excuse to follow up with them and say, "Hey, I just was following up to see if you had any questions about the checklist that, I was able to give you if you had a chance to look at it." "Oh yeah. Okay. No, you didn't. Awesome. Hey, well, what's going on with your time frame? What's going on?" And you can kind of lead. It's a great way to lead into a follow-up call when you go to follow up, when you give them that checklist. So if Clara could give me some confirmation that that's going to get done, I want to drop that in the chat. Okay, look at her rock. That's awesome. So go ahead, guys, click on that, check it out. Feel free to rebrand it, take it for yourself. It's a great tool. Okay, good stuff. So let's role play that out. All right, let's role play this objection out in real time, and so everyone can get an idea of what this should sound like. Okay, so John, if you could be the prospector, and then Ron, if you could give that objection to John, okay, and then John, if you could really try to figure out what the true time frame is. Before you set that appointment, so they can hear it in the context of really what an agent would be thinking and feeling. And whether they should set it as a follow-up or try to get the in-person appointment. That'd be great.
I'm ready to go, Ron. You can quiz me. Oh, no, I'm terrible at press. I'm not a good ISA. That's totally John Didio. I'm sorry, guys.
Are you sure you don't want to take it, John?
Hey, give me an onboarding. I can role play onboarding
Go for it, John.
anytime. Yeah, I'm great at onboarding. I can do it in my sleep. Prospecting,
John,
I don't
do
know
it.
about that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Just start right from the top.
Right from the top, like the whole role play?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, I was looking for the owner of 123 Main.
You're on mute, Ron.
That might be me.
Yeah, is this Ron?
Yeah, that's Ron.
My name's John. I'm with Remax. I saw the property for sale a while ago. I believe you guys are asking about $375. Just wondering if you guys were still considering selling that, or if that's already sold. I saw it was pulled from the market.
I don't know. I might sell it, might not. I don't have to sell it. I don't care.
Okay, so it's not on the market then. It's not on the MLS or under contract with an agent. You just kind of handle it yourself?
Yep.
Okay. Reason for the call, I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of properties going back up on the market. One of the main reasons, basically considering you probably heard interest rates are the lowest they've been in the last 13 years. And properties are moving really quickly. A lot of people are getting above asking price. But I don't want to get into any kind of pitch or anything like that. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, what was the reason it came off the market? I mean, were you not getting the offers that you were looking for? Or did your plans just kind of change at the time?
I didn't get any offers.
Any feedback from your previous listing agent?
I can't remember his name.
Oh, geez, that's not good. Now you had it
I think it's
on the
Phantom.
market.
His name is Phantom.
Okay. Well, how long did Phantom have you on the market for? Was it like 30 days, 60 days?
No, I was out there 120 days.
Okay, so you had it out there for a little while. I'm assuming you had a couple offers. Were they just a little lower than you're expecting?
No, I didn't have any offers.
Okay. Well, I got to ask. I mean, it's a beautiful house. I mean, what was the reason you guys even considered selling it? Just looking to downsize?
Well, I'm trying to get in front of this. I think the market's going to change. So I was trying to get out in front of it, see if I get that high price everybody's getting. So, but it didn't work out.
Okay. All right. Now, did you already have another place lined up that you were looking to go once it sold that you kind of lost out on because this one didn't move? Or were you waiting for this property to sell first?
Yeah, I want to sell it first. I could move in with my kids. They deserve that anyway. So.
Okay. Were you planning on staying in the same area or looking to kind of move somewhere else? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as I said, the market's gotten really good. Pretty much everybody buys in the spring. COVID kind of threw a wrench in everybody's plans. So what's happened is all the buyers have flooded the market and they're willing to pay a premium. Basically because they want to take advantage of the lowest interest rates in history. So everything with the right exposure is moving in less than a week, most of them with multiple offers. And what I'd like to do is just recommend a conversation with John Modine. He kind of built his career attracting qualified buyers on homes that were on the market that didn't sell. You know, whether you got lowballed, your buyers were unqualified, or maybe in the case like you, just listed with somebody who kind of threw a sign in the yard. It's kind of what I'm getting across here. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with this market, but 90% of the business is done by 10% of the agents, and he's moved over 700 homes just in the last 2 years. But he's meeting some people in the area tomorrow, and it's been, 6-7 months since you had it on the market. I think it's at least worth having that conversation, considering the market's had that change. I'd like to have him stop by and talk with you, just kind of like a discovery conversation. Is it typically better for you in the morning or the afternoon?
Neither. The last agent I had was too busy all the time. It sounds like your guy's pretty busy too.
Well, I mean, if you want to get the best price, you want to work with somebody who has a lot of contacts, who can move a lot of properties, but at the same time, he's so confident he's going to be able to get the job done. He's not even going to lock you into a long-term listing agreement. Basically, what that means, you can cancel at any time. That's how confident he is in his ability. And his homes, on average, they move in less than 21 days. But he offers what's called a communication guarantee. What that is you always know what's going on with your property. You get a live update call or email every week. So you're not going to have somebody that's just going to stick a sign in the yard and kind of hope that it sells itself. Like, kind of sound like what you went through last time. But with that being said, I just wanted to, recommend that conversation so you could build some dialogue. He'll be in the area tomorrow. Is it better to have him stop by in the morning or the afternoon?
Can you have him call me? Because I got to go to public market in the morning.
I kind of have him call you. What is better, in the morning or the afternoon?
I got a cell phone, so he could call me anytime in the morning.
Okay. Well, like I said, market has changed, and I think it's at least worth, having him stop out so you can get a good idea as far as what he can put in your pocket. And he's not going to be able to really give you a correct assessment unless he sees the home. So is there going to be a better day I could have him stop by and talk with you and your wife, maybe in the morning or the afternoon? He'll be out that way on Wednesday and Thursday as well.
I'll tell you what, have him give me a call. We'll set it up.
Okay. I got 6 or 7 o'clock available later this evening. Does 6 work, or would you prefer 7?
What, to call me?
Yeah, I'm going to have him call you.
Yeah, call. I said anytime. I got a cell phone.
I understand, but I got to put it in the schedule. He is a busy guy. He moves a lot of properties.
Yeah, maybe he's too busy. That's what bothers me. Maybe he's too busy.
Would you rather work with somebody who sits here and calls you, or has somebody who hires somebody to call you?
I'd rather talk to the person I'm going to pay.
You're going to talk to the person you're going to pay if he moves the property. What I'm saying is the agents that would basically be calling you and saying they can sell your
All
house,
right, we can stop there.
they're sitting there because they don't have any business,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
So here's the thing. What time frame? What's Ron's time frame of selling?
I didn't even ask that.
And that's so that
Just trying to create a desire as far as now because of the way the market is.
yeah, definitely, which is really good. So there's nothing wrong with that. But one of the things that it's really important, just remember for everybody listening is what, asking that time frame question. Say, hey, look, let me ask you this: if you could get the right offer in the next 3 to 6 months, and if you get the right offer sooner than later, what's your time frame of actually selling? And then if they say something like 6 months or I don't know, or whatever, one of the things that can be really deadly is that, we don't want to be setting appointments with people that are not in a reasonable time frame. Beverly, does that make sense? Would you agree with that? So, and John, I know you usually do that. You're just kind of wrapped up in the role play. So I just wanted to.
He did say that he didn't care. He could live with his kids. So it's kind of, there really wasn't a time frame, it was just whenever his home
That's
sold.
why I kind of didn't get too much into that. And I actually almost had to create the desire to get him to wonder what the comps were by telling him he's not going to get an accurate assessment because he didn't ask anything like that or say anything like that. So
April, how did they ask it when you were having this conversation? Let us know as much as I know you're just typing in, but type in there kind of, how they said it in what context, if you can. I want to make sure that we're really drilling down on this the right way, because it's a really important objection to be able to overcome. So, but anyway, it's really important, again, to find that balance of value, or adding value, giving them that checklist, and knowing if they're just blowing you off, because you don't want to accept that blow off too, because that's what John Didio's kind of going with it. Like you want to really find out what the time frame really is, that they're not just blowing you off, right? So he said that he knew how much the neighbor's house was worth, and he wanted to know how much his was. That's okay. That's great. So let me ask you, if it was worth what you thought it was worth, what kind of time frame were you thinking to get this home sold? That would be a really powerful question to ask. And April, most likely, if they continue to blow you off, because they're really just not that serious yet.
So what you're saying is you want to qualify them first before you go and try to create a sense of urgency.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's right. Because if you look at our 7 steps, right, it's building rapport and making sure we're qualifying them. So we don't want to be spending our time putting all this freaking energy trying to convert somebody that's not convertible. Because what happens is, even if you do get that appointment, and John, your show up rate's phenomenal, so this isn't directed towards you by any means. What does happen is you jam them into an appointment and they don't show. They cancel. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They cancel. And so it was a waste of everyone's time and energy, when if you find time frame, you find motivation, the time frame lines up, then you got a solid opportunity on your hands, April. So.
Hey, Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
With April's question there, when they said that the neighbor sold his house and he was curious, I would have then said, oh, well, great. Do you know how much his house sold for? How much did he get for his house?
Yeah, that's a good question too.
And if they say, well, yeah, and say, well, does that make you happy that your neighbor got that much for his house, or that little, or whatever the case may be?
That's
and,
good.
And then I would ask them, so one question it begs to ask, how does your house compare to his house? Have you ever been inside his house? Maybe not. And if that's no, great. Well, then, I haven't either. I can look it up for you. Well, why don't I do some research on his house? I'll bring over some pictures and we can compare with your house.
That's good.
I'm in.
I love it. That's
because they're nosy.
Yeah. That's good. It's a great angle, Ron. I love it.
You got to look for them. Opportunities are in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Next one was, I don't know if this is more of a question, Mary, or or that's what you heard from a home seller. So if you could clarify, but it was, do you see the market starting to change? So was that more of a question for for open discussion, or did you actually hear that from a home seller or both? Okay, good, fair enough. So let's talk about it first, and then we'll bring it into more of a practical role play type of conversation. So let's just have open dialogue with each other about what's happening in our local markets. So here in Rochester, Ron, if you could lead off what's happening, and then I'd love to hear from April, Frank, Janet, Lola, Mary, Ron. I'd love to hear from some of the other people on here. What's going on? So what you guys are seeing with the market.
Yeah, I've been doing some research on it, basically because there is a change happening. It's a very subtle change, but normally a healthy real estate market where there's supply, demand, and it's more an even situation, seller, buyer, is about a 6-month inventory. We're still around, believe it or not, the average about 4 months. And people say, well, houses are selling faster. Yes, in certain areas, but it's really more of a 4-month inventory. And closings are still 45 days. They're rapid closings. You got more buyers out there. They're pre-qualified. The rates are down. All that is still the same. And if you really get some statistics and you realize that the average median equity gain right now, average is $60,000. That's enormous compared to what it used to be. But, it comes a point when things get so high, it's got to start to slow down because they can't go out in orbit. You got to be careful. And the reason for this too, the slowdown is that right now 44% of the sellers are trading up. What's going on with the other 46% or 36%? And you think about that, refinances, they're not moving. They're staying put because of the rates. So things are starting to slow down. There's still less competition out there because there's not that many houses on the market. But realize that if you watch the stats, you can actually see it happening. I've seen this happen before, not like this. Okay, don't get me wrong. But back when the balloon broke and everything went right downhill, that was a whole different scenario. This has been going on now for about 3 years. And if you look at all the statisticians, they're saying next year is going to be a great year in real estate. 2021 is going to be a great year for real estate. May not be the best year, though. Maybe we're in the best year right now. We'll see.
Yeah, that's really good information. What we depend for our analytics. So when we're rating basically the ability of our artificial intelligence to track its ability to find people that are in that buying or selling cycle. We've gotten independent research done from a company called Altos Research, and they put out an awesome report every month on what's happening with the economy because they actually track changes to title and they track the entire MLS nationwide. So I'm going to put in a YouTube video link in there for this month's report so you guys can check that out. On your own. I do want to talk about it from a homeowner's perspective and come up with some language when somebody's talking about the market. I'm assuming they're wondering if it's the best time to sell. Ron and I actually have a seminar coming up. We're doing a home seller seminar next week. So we're going to let you know how that goes, but we're going to actually try getting homeowners on a virtual seminar and educating them about what's happening in the market, how to get the best value for their home, so on and so forth. If that model ends up working well, we'll teach you guys how to do it. So with that, Ron, when somebody's thinking about whether they should, they ask you a question, hey, what's happening with the market? Number one, why are they asking that question is the first thing that pops in my mind. And how do you respond to it? So.
Yeah, you want to ask them, what are you living under a rock? Don't you know what's going on with the market because it's on the news?
You can't say,
but you can't say that. But
well, it's not. I'm sorry. Is it starting to slow down? That was what they were asking. Sorry.
And they wouldn't really know that because everything they hear is puffed a little bit. And, there's not an agent in the world that's going to tell them the business is slowing down. They're going to say it's so busy because it's positive. But, the thing is basically what I would say to them is first of all, you're in a great market and it's a good time to sell your house anytime. But the key is what, number one, what's making you think about this? And once we get that answer, then ask them, okay, what's your timetable? Is timing, pricing, convenience, what's most important to you? And what would it do to you if you put your house on the market and then you couldn't sell it? Then what would you do? What's your plans? Where are you going with all this? And basically the market is as good as what your price is. I mean, that's what's driving this market is the inventory and then the price. And not everybody's going to get multiple offers. I had a conversation with our top agent the other day, and he was telling me that he took an offer in to a property under asking, and they accepted it right off the bat. And it was only on the market for about 15 days. I thought that might be kind of unusual. Then he had another offer for another buyer, and he says he took it in. There was 3 other offers. He was at asking price, and they took his offer because that was the best offer. So it's like, well, okay, that's one agent. Well, I'd love to hear from 10 others and see if they're experiencing the same thing. But, again, it's a great time to sell a house anytime. What controls the market? Basically, the buyers do. What are buyers willing to pay? That's the value of your house. I don't know. You don't know. The buyer doesn't know until that offer is on the table. You accept it. That's the value of your house.
That's good. So we have, so Jonathan, you sent a message to April saying that's crazy, April. I'm sure difference. Could you talk through that? Jonathan, what are you reading there? I didn't get to read the whole thing.
Sure. So pretty much April was saying that the appraisers are starting to push back a little bit about the super high prices of homes. And I know personally from buying a home recently that the difference between the price the house is sold for versus the appraised price can really affect not only your down payment, but also in the future, just the major adjustments across the board. I'm sure these appraisers don't like the fact that these houses are selling so far over value, and then the appraised price must meet the sale price. And then if they ever go to sell that house in the future, it's going to sell for, say, a normal price. That huge discrepancy there is going to, I'm sure, throw off all of the different paperwork as well. And so I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of pushback in the near future from appraisers as they start to realize that this bubble will pop eventually. So, and I say it's not just Kansas City; it's all over right now. The housing market's just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, ISAs, if you guys could start dialing, we'll do something fun here today, Beverly. And if you want to compete with us, that would be great. It'd be awesome. Just for fun is to.
I'm gonna have to jump in like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got to go. I'm sorry.
Can I answer Mary's question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Before I go.
Yep, go
So
ahead.
she wants to know if you have a conversation with a buyer who wants to wait for a change, what should the answer be? And it really comes down to what their motivation is, why they want to make a move. Because right now it's so easy to add value to agents, guys. This is not about who finds the house first and creative contract writing. This is about you being proactive to find the homes that aren't even on the market yet. Get their qualifications, get their expectations, and just ask them if they say that they're frustrated with the market. And when Isaiah was asking about the biggest objection, I'm getting so many people that say, I have an agent, because this is when everybody goes online to look because they can't believe there's no homes on the market and they get really uber frustrated. And it's asking them, what is most important to you? Do you have to buy? What is your plan B? And if we had an agent that was able to find you a home that is not yet on the market, is that something that would be of interest to you to not have competing offers? Yes. Then you're going to really create, that's your value proposition. In this market right now, it's so much easier to create your value to these leads than it is in a market that we don't have this competition. So Mary, to answer your question, just ask them what their plan B is if they don't find a home, and ask them if that's something that would be of interest to them, and just twist it around.
That's really good.
I gotta go.
Yeah. one really awesome tool, and we'd be happy to help you with it. It takes a little bit of legwork, but with your membership with us, you have access to geographical data. There's only so much that's accurate just based on what's available in the market. But if you want to set up a really strong strategy to get new listings and also help your buyers, this is what I've been coaching people through to do when they want to accomplish both things, where you're helping your buyer find off-market homes and you're also looking to attract more listings. If you go and you want to contact support, and if you have certain zip codes that you're getting buyer leads from, and you have some hot areas that you get a lot of your buyer leads in from, then match those areas up with the geographical data. So in other words, contact support. And for everybody that's on this, we won't charge you anything for it because we want to see you win. But we'll give you as much geographical data that you need in the zip codes that you're getting buyer leads. Pull those geographical leads, all right, and then develop a campaign and let them know that you have a buyer in the market, and you can send a message out if you got their email, or you can do a text and say, look, we have a buyer in the area and we're just curious to see under any conditions that you'd be open to selling your home. And that's why we spent so much time on training on the geographical farming techniques, because of what's happening in the market right now. And you can effectively kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, because you're helping your buyer find off-market deals legitimately, and you're attracting.
I put you on with him?
Yeah, you can.
More listings. Go ahead.
Okay.
So if I'm being clear enough with what the strategy is, or if you have any follow-up questions, just give me some confirmation in the chat if the strategy makes sense and how powerful that can be. Where if you identify, you pull geographical data with names,
hey, I was trying to reach the owner of the property on Adams Street.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is John. I saw your ad on Zillow for the 3-bedroom. Just wondering if you guys were still taking offers or if that's already sold.
No, we're still open.
Okay, you guys are doing this yourself, right? You haven't gone under contract with an agent or put it on the MLS or anything yet?
It's on. It is with Rickle Klein.
Rickle Klein. Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't say here at the bottom. Is that something you just did then?
I just posted it myself because I wasn't getting results.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye now.
So if you go to support at rapsuccess.com, you can request some geographical data that you're getting a lot of buyers in. And if you want to join one of our workshops or just set up an on-demand strategy session, we'd be happy to help you set up that campaign to where you legitimately have buyers you're trying to find a home for, right? We'd be happy to help you set up that campaign to do use that buyer as kind of a geographical farming type of campaign.
And make sure that when you're submitting those zip codes, guys, any criteria that your buyers are looking for, bedrooms, bathrooms, that has a pool, it doesn't have a pool, stuff like that, we can also incorporate that into our searches. Of course, we'll always do the confirmed homeowner search, everything along those lines. But if there's criteria, even price point that they're looking for, we can factor that into our geographical polls as well.
That's great, Jonathan. I forgot that we had the capability to do that. So that's good.
Oh, and we also, Isaiah, we've got some collusion going on right here.
Oh, yeah?
Chris Casale over here is prospecting for April right now, trying to win $50, and she's in here trying to get some appointments too. I don't know if this is fair. We got people doubling up on us.
That's awesome. That's great. So that's great. And I think, Ron, for our next Realty Home Advisors training, I think, especially Bill Dalzell, some of our agents that have buyers they're trying to find a home for. I know Linda's working with some buyers too. We can do that where we can pull the data in those zip codes and market to them to see if we can find an off-market deal as an option.
Best deal in the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So good stuff. All right. So we got the prospecting happening in the background. We got time for one more objection. We're going to wrap up here in about 10 minutes, and unless another call, kind of comes in. We got a competition happening for a $50 gift card right now, just for some fun. Anyone can feel free to join in on that. And it'll be an Amazon gift card. So for anyone who can get an appointment in the next 15 minutes, so for those of you that are competitive, it's not really about the money, but at least for me, You put $1 up on a golf course, I'm going to win that $1. I don't care how much it is. Because I'm competitive.
Good.
So
I'm just following up on an online inquiry that had come in looking for some property in the area. I was wondering if you found what you were looking for or if you were still searching. Oh, you did. So you already bought. Okay. Do you happen to know anybody else in the area that's looking to buy or maybe sell? Not off the top of your head? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Todd. You have a good day.
I yell at Casale every time he doesn't ask the referral question. That's the one, because he's forced to sit next to me sometimes, and if I hear him not ask, I'm like, dude, you better ask that every single time. And yeah, he's actually gotten a couple of options from there.
That's awesome. That's great. All right. Anything else you guys want to hear when it comes to objections that you're getting, or maybe you're thinking about, you're getting into prospecting, you're getting up to follow up, anything along the lines of prospecting, lead conversion that you guys have questions on. We're at 48.3% down on inventory from 2019.
Yeah, I can't complain too much, I guess. I was just following up on an inquiry that had come in online. You were looking for some property in the area. I was just wondering if you'd found what you were looking for or if you were still searching. Oh, it was about 2 months ago? Okay. Were you still looking or did you already purchase? Oh, okay. All right. Do you happen to know anybody in the area that is looking to buy or, potentially sell? Not at the moment. Okay. All right. Not a problem. Hey, you have a great day.
Yeah.
All right,
So
bye.
April asked how far back you're calling, Chris.
I couldn't tell you. That one looked like it was 2 months. The one before that was about 6.
Yeah. So April, we have a list of whatever got ISA approved. So whatever got approved and put into the queue is what he'll cycle through. And his goal is to call every lead at least 6 times in conjunction with the text message and the email that's going out through your database marketing account. So if there's something you want, so if there's something you want updated, we'll be happy to do it. For those of you that have the ISA prospecting service, there is an ISA approved button. So if you have leads that you want us to call, make sure you go into your tech stack, go into your tech solution, and if you don't know how to do that, we'll be happy to help you. But the more data that they have to call, obviously the better off it's going to be. So awesome. Good. So we do. Chris is awesome. Already got us 2 appointments, phone appointments. Nice, Chris. So got a little compliment there, buddy. So good stuff. I don't believe it, but no, just kidding. Chris is awesome. Chris,
I can verify. He might not be awesome, but he did set 2 appointments.
He did set. So
that means I am awesome.
That means I am awesome. That's great. All right, we're at 2:09. It doesn't seem like any other objections are coming in, so I want to leave you just with a reminder. He did. Be nice, I say. So gotta have a little fun around here, So just a couple things. Just want to remind you that the clients that see the most success with us, they really plug into that sales and marketing workbook. You're going to see it becoming more and more interactive, and it's going to be, if you have any questions as far as executing on it, we have a really strong support team here. Something coming down that I think you guys are going to be excited about. If you have an IDX website that's generating you leads and that you like a lot, let us know if you like your current IDX website. If you got a strong IDX website that you like a lot, shoot that, pop that into the chat. If you've been thinking about revamping or doing something different with your IDX website to generate more leads, I'm curious to know that. It's something that and I have a reason why I'm asking. So let us know really quick. Where are you at as far as your IDX website, and is it generating leads? Because we're going to do a whole training on how to make sure that it generates leads here in the near future. So, and making sure that everything's synced up properly so you can convert those leads. So anybody, we have any feedback on that? Looks like we don't. No feedback. one way or another. Okay. maybe we'll send out a survey. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's session and more importantly, got something out of it and apply it and do it. So we find that the top producing agents, they are very consistent with their sales and marketing activities. They do not let them, they don't compromise those time blocks. They stay focused on them. And if you want a reminder of a structure that when we interview mega agents across the country, when we're doing those interviews, just as a quick reminder, you can see that structure in the sales and marketing workbook that is there. It gives a recommended time frame to be able to execute everything as a reminder. So I'll share my screen really quick so we can see that and we'll wrap up. So in your sales and marketing workbook, you can see daily sales and marketing schedule. If you have an administrative person that helps you or a marketing person that helps you, this is a great roadmap for them to follow. And with that, I hope you guys have an awesome week and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Hi, is Edward there?
Oh, we got one more call.
This is John. I was just calling because I saw the property for sale not too long ago. I was wondering if you were still taking offers.
We are. Are you?
Minimize it. I saw it on Zillow. I was just.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw the property on Zillow. I actually look for properties for one of the top brokers in the area. She wanted me to reach out to you, just get a little information about the property. I don't want to take too much of your time, okay?
Sure.
You guys are doing this yourself, right? It's not on the market with an agent or on the MLS, correct?
It's not yet. It will be as soon as we're done with construction and everything. We're just kind of doing some pre-marketing right now.
Okay, and this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet, correct?
Yeah.
And now, is this an investment property for you, or is this your primary?
This is going to be our primary, but we're going to be moving out of state, so we're selling it instead of moving it.
So you must have purchased this recently then. Well, what's the reason you guys decided to put on the market, if you don't mind me asking?
We're going to be moving out of state. Can you hold on for 1 second?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Hello.
Okay.
Back.
All right. I didn't even catch your name. I didn't see it on the ad. My name's John. You are?
It was Edward.
Edward. Nice to meet you, Edward. So Edward, I mean, since you guys are moving out of state, do you have a time frame that you're trying to get this property sold by?
ASAP.
Okay. And I'm guessing you guys are doing this on your own. Want to save on commissions and maximize your net, right? Get the most out of this property.
Well, my girlfriend, who also owns the house with me, is a realtor, so we will be putting it on the MLS as soon as it's, shown.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Okay. And she does this full time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what, if we end up coming across a buyer, is this the best telephone number to get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate your time, man. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Bye.